Okay, so my main thesis for today is it's okay to be misunderstood. It's okay to go into a role of being alone. And not only is it okay, it's a sign that you're progressing if you're becoming misunderstood. If people, for example, if my friends or family don't understand why I drive an hour to the gym that I go to every day, and I try to explain to them, well, it puts me into a headspace where I drove a fucking hour to get here, so I'm gonna really focus on my video, I'm gonna get it done, and I'm gonna have the intention of whenever I'm at that gym and I'm at that location, it's me working on the video, it's me putting in the time and the effort that's required to reach my goals. And being in the headspace of somewhere that's not comfortable and somewhere that's far away, and the difficulty of getting there once I get there, it just puts me in a headspace to work harder. So a lot of people don't understand that. They're like, just do it at home, but this is what works for me. And in the same way, a lot of friends might start questioning why you don't go out with them as much, why you don't go drink as often, smoke with them, hang out with them, do these certain things. And first of all, let me preface by saying, being a stick in the mud is not fucking cool, it's not right, it's not fun. Like, people who are so stuck on being, oh, I'm so disciplined, I'm so locked in, I'm not gonna drink ever again, I'm not ever gonna smoke, I'm not ever gonna do this. That works for some people, but for the most part, man, it's, I feel like a lot of those people think that, oh, I'm gonna be so disciplined that I'll have no regrets whenever I die. I feel like that leaves you with more regrets because you're not experiencing everything that life has to offer. I think that letting loose every now and then, having fun, going out with your friends is important, and it's a part of life that you need to experience. But on the opposite coin, like I was saying, your friends might not understand why you're not going out with them as much, and they might look at you by saying, think that you're like pompous and being a dickhead and saying like, oh, so you're too good for us now. And first of all, if those friends are having that thought pattern and acting like that towards you, maybe it is good to grow from there, because your true friends are gonna see that you are trying to better yourself and want better for you. So that's basically the thesis. I'll go into more detail here in a little bit. I just finished hack squat, if you guys can tell, so I'm kind of out of breath, dying a little bit. Trying to stay focused for the workout. I'm gonna go into my first point from here while I'm hitting some glute focus RDLs. Shit, that was heavy. Okay, I'm gonna go into point one now. Whew. Okay, point one, focus on your story. And what I mean by that is, you guys are in the middle part of it right now. Same with myself. I'm at the point where I haven't seen the exact results that I want yet, but I also haven't completely escaped the life that I lived previously, and I'm not completely in a headspace where this has become an absolute habit and routine that is easy for me. And I don't think it'll ever be easy, but I do think it will get easier, and I'm not into that headspace yet. But I'm trying to view it as, I think Hormozi says, he has a quote, something along the lines of saying that you have to view your story like you're the hero and you're trying to slay the dragon. And to break that down even further is like, every obstacle that you face, you have to view it as you're the hero in your story. You're starting as a man with a stick and you're going against a bear. And yeah, later down the lines, you might face a dragon, but you'll have the weapons, you'll have this team around you, you'll have this community that's going to help you have a fucking nuclear bomb, or whatever you need to overcome it in a way that's easier. So the obstacle might seem bigger as you progress, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be more difficult per se. So right now, the starting point and the middle point where you're starting to be misunderstood and in a role of maybe feeling alone, that's the most difficult point, because when you're by yourself, you don't have the tools and you don't have everything that you need to overcome beating that bear or that obstacle in your way. And once you overcome that, you'll have more tools, you'll have more relationships, you'll have more people surrounding you. I'm being repetitive, but you'll be able to overcome those obstacles easier, even if they seem or feel or even are bigger. Okay, point two, solitude is a skill. And like any skill, you have to work on it. You have to put it into practice. And the way that I've really felt growth in my own life, and really just been able to understand myself and be able to hear God's discernment more in my life is by getting off my phone. First of all, just getting away from technology in general. Like I was at the point where I was brushing my teeth, I was looking at my phone, I was taking a piss, I was looking at my phone. When I get home, I turn on the TV, and I was consuming way more than I was creating. And just be honest with yourself. For a lot of people that say they can't find their purpose, how do you expect to find it whenever you're constantly distracting yourself? Like, for example, if you're taking a test or you're doing something important, you're not going to have your phone, you're not going to have music blaring, you're not going to be having these distractions in front of you because you're not going to be able to focus as well on the goal. The same thing with being alone. Driving home from work, driving home from the gym, whatever. If you always have music blaring on the way there, on the way back, if you're constantly never allowing yourself to sit in your own thoughts, how are you going to ever truly figure out who you want to be and what your purpose is? So you can't say that you don't know what your purpose is if you've never pursued it and you've never given yourself the opportunity or the time to be alone in your own thoughts and allow God to discern you in those moments. That's basically it for point 2. I'm either going to go to hip thrust or leg extensions, and then I'll go to my third point. All right, let me just give a brief explanation where we're at. I ended up running into one of my buddies, and he was also hitting legs, and we've been trying to work out forever together, so ended up working out with him. It was an awesome workout. I wanted to record during it, but I kept running into, I kept having other friends come up to me and meeting new people and just kept getting distracted. And I had this thought in my head for a second, like, fuck, how am I gonna get my video done? How am I gonna find time to do that? And I feel like that's such an idiotic mindset to have, to not be grateful and thankful that I have people who are comfortable enough with me and would consider themselves to be close enough friends with me that they're comfortable to come and talk to me and not interrupt my workout, but just they know that I want to talk to them. They know that they are my friend, and they know that it's not an interruption. It's a blessing, and there's so many people that would die to have the relationships that I have. So I'm very thankful for that, and I think I was being a total bitch with having the mindset of, oh, I'm being distracted, poor me, how am I gonna get my video done? Because my friends are coming to talk to me. Like, what am I fucking thinking? So with that quick debrief, I'm gonna go into, I believe, point 2, it might be point 3. Let me check real quick. Point 3, being misunderstood is a byproduct of change. And this kind of goes back to what I was saying in the beginning, that once you change as an individual, if you're not beginning to be misunderstood by those you're closest with, then you most likely aren't actually changing, and you're most likely not actually growing. And I also want to go back to the Hormozi quote where he says, imagine that you're telling that story to yourself of the person who slayed the dragon, the person who's overcame their struggle. Just imagine relaying your own life story back to you in the future and what you've achieved. This story wouldn't be fucking good if it was easy. It wouldn't be as good if there wasn't any crazy obstacles that you overcame. If you just said, yeah, my dad gave me $100 million and now I'm rich. If you're given something, it doesn't have as much meaning and the story wouldn't be as good. You're not gonna be as proud of yourself and you're not gonna be as fulfilled. Fulfillment comes from overcoming hardships. Fulfillment comes from doing things that are fucking difficult. And with this video, I can be thankful that it didn't exactly play out how I thought it could have, and I didn't feel very strong today. I didn't have my schedule timed out exactly how I wanted it to. I have a lot of things that I have to go get done tonight, and I don't know if I'm gonna have time to edit this. I could be thinking to myself like, damn, all the excuses that I could make. Maybe I should just not do this video today and put it out tomorrow. Nobody will care, nobody will notice. At the end of the day, I'm not doing this for anyone else besides myself. And I understand I'm going on a tangent right now, but I think it's an important one. The fact that today has not been perfect and it's been more difficult is why it has meaning, is why this video is going to mean more to myself. And if I look back on it in the future, I'm going to be proud of myself and I'm going to be happy that I did it. And I never know what video could be the one that goes crazy. It could be the one that pops off, and it could be one that I might have never posted. So with that, I'm going to go into my final point, which is what's built alone can't be taken. Identity forged in solitude doesn't need approval. So if you do it by yourself, and you're able to sit in your own thoughts and you're able to figure out what your purpose is, and you're able to pursue something without caring what other people think, without caring how do I sound when I make this video, how am I going to be looked at whenever I post content? How am I going to be looked at? Are people going to view me as corny? Am I going to come across as disingenuous? Am I going to come across as pompous and I'm better than other people? Regardless of what you're doing, if you're not doing it for yourself, these thoughts are going to creep into the back of your mind. And with me pursuing this growth as pattern series and posting every single day for 2026, I started and I hated it. I still hate it, and I don't hate it. I'm starting to like it more, and I'm seeing the growth and I'm seeing the purpose, but I still am very uncomfortable. But uncomfortability is where growth comes from. And the fact that I don't want to do it and I'm still doing it and I'm holding myself accountable is why nobody can ever take it from me, is why it doesn't matter what other people think about what I'm doing or what I'm pursuing. If I'm doing it for myself, then their opinions literally mean nothing to me. First of all, a lot of people talk shit just because they have nothing else to say. A lot of people talk shit because they're, I don't want to say dumbasses, but they just don't have the intelligence, or they have the emptiness inside themselves to where they know they're not pursuing something and they just have to fill up that void with hating on somebody else. And if somebody's doing that about you, you can't look at it and say, those are the opinions that you shouldn't value. Because if they don't have what you want, if they haven't cultivated a life for themselves that you are not jealous of, but you look up to and you want to achieve, then why the fuck would you ever think that that type of lifestyle or that person has an opinion that would matter to you in any way, shape, or form? And even if they are somebody who's successful, if their opinion bothers you that much, then maybe you should stop doing it and give up and fucking be like, oh, so-and-so made me feel like an idiot. Like, what the fuck? If that's enough to push you off of your course, then you shouldn't be pursuing it in the first place. I'm gonna close with this. If I'm being honest, I'm looking at my points now that I've made. It's basically the same fucking thing I've been saying the entire time. You just have to instill this confidence in yourself that can't be shaken by somebody else's opinions. And if you're pursuing it for the right reasons and you're doing it for yourself because you want to see growth in your own life, then you can't be knocked off of that path. And I know that today's message has been a bit of a circular definition, and I've kind of been going around the point and saying the same thing over and over again, but hopefully there's somebody who's been watching this that needed this message today and maybe needed to hear it more than once. I don't think I did a great job with articulating myself today. I don't think I did a great job with how I prepared myself. I don't think I did a great job with a lot of the shit that I've done in this video, but I'm happy and I see growth in the fact that I used to be the type of person that could not post a video if it wasn't perfect. And now that I'm going to still post this, even though I'm not exactly happy with it, it just makes me happy that I am able to do that. And regardless of if this made the most sense to you, it made sense to me. And I'm gonna post it regardless. I really appreciate you guys watching. I promise I'll bring you guys a better message tomorrow. And hopefully this one still made some sort of sense. And I know that I shouldn't be beating myself up as much as I shouldn't be beating myself up as much. Okay. I shouldn't be beating myself up as much as I am, but I just want to be as genuine as I can with this channel. And I know that a lot of people try to just keep the viewer entertained and keep the viewer focused and try to bring a point with every video. And that's obviously my goal. But if I'm not doing the best job at it, I'm going to be honest and tell you guys that I fucking think that I'm sucking today. And I do. I think that this video isn't great. And the only way that I'll see my growth in the future is by posting this as accountability for myself. And whenever I come back to this video from a year or however long from now, I'll be able to see how much better I've gotten and how I've improved. So even though this did not turn out how I wanted it to, I hope that it gave at least one person the message that I'm trying to convey. So thank you guys so much for watching and have a blessed one.